welcome back to Dyson Sphere with me, Jetty, and of course, the wonderful Mr. Icarus. And today's episode, we have some things we need to do. But first off, let's explain a couple of things. So first off, we're standing on a brand new planet, never visited before. It's the Dead One number 3, because in our previous episode, we went and did some proliferation. We went and got some Mark III Proliferator, just a little bit. You know, we made a little build that did 15 per second, which again, blueprints are always available on my Discord server. And we got one build going. And then we duplicated the build, which gave us a bit over 30 per second. And then after we had 30 per second, we took the whole blueprint and we pasted it down 5 more times to give us a little bit over 10,000 per minute. Yeah, about 180 per second, 10,000 per minute, which is a really good start. It's plenty of juice, to keep things running. Then I had to have the joyous job of running all the way around the galaxy and taking everything that was importing Mark II Proliferator and swap it over to Mark III. Also disable all the making of Mark II Proliferator we had all over the galaxy so we could have enough coal to actually run the Mark III Proliferator. So now that that's all done, the last thing I had to do was we're making the Mark III on the Killingsworth system. So I needed a lot of fire ice. So I stopped at Dead One number 3 because it had some fire ice. It was local. It's nice and close transport-wise, and set up this planet as well. The only thing I haven't done is, of course, being a brand new planet, I need to name it. So we're going to pick the next on our list of lovely YouTube members, because I'm naming all the planets over here after lovely YouTube members. And we're going to call this one Jens Mueller, because I realized with the Killingsworth system, I was very, very good, and I removed people's first names, thinking I was doing the right thing, but then forgot entirely that as soon as you leave a comment, it leaves your first name and your last name. Well, it leaves whatever your YouTube name account is. So in my case, when I leave a comment on somebody's video, it says Jetty Plays. In Killingsworth system, it leaves Kristen Killingworth. Yeah. So it is what it is. But thank you, Jens Mueller, for being a lovely YouTube member. Thank you for supporting the channel. Funnily enough, when I go to these people's, YouTube channels to get their name, because when you make a YouTube account, you get a YouTube channel, even if you never upload a video, it lists their subscribers more often than not. It's funny when I see these YouTube members that aren't subscribed to my channel. I don't know if that's a YouTube thing and it just lists the top 30 subscriptions they have, or whether they just became a member and didn't click subscribe. So at this moment, I will remind you, even if you're a YouTube member, make sure you click the subscribe button. Make sure you get those video updates, because in today's episode, we're moving on from the Dead One planet, because it's served us well, but we have a small problem. Now we have proliferation juice, we have science, something is holding up our science. And it is, of course, our Dyson Spheres. Our Dyson Spheres, we have the Tristan system, which is going really, really well, actually. Look, don't get me wrong, it's doing great. We're launching off rockets, as you can see. We're launching off sails. As soon as we launch a sail, it disappears, it gets absorbed immediately. But I'm not launching off rockets fast enough. We have a little blueprint, puts down 29 rocket silos, and that launches around about, look, let's just round it up. Let's round it up. Let's call it 30 silos. If it was 30 silos, it does 2.5 rockets per minute, which means this system is constantly launching 2.5 rockets per minute, providing we could feed it. Considering our little rocket build is pathetic. Cool. A little bit more retransmission effect. I wonder if that satisfaction went up. I didn't look. Okay. Our little rocket build, our original one, it sucks, honestly. It was enough to get us up and running. It does like 1 per second. Nothing to write home about. But we have a blueprint we put down. Actually, let's bring up this blueprint. That folder. Plus, we want the polar blueprints. We want carrier upgrade. Okay, cool. Hey! Okay, so that is our last carrier upgrade. I love it how I'm trying to talk about this and then get completely distracted by research. Okay, so that was the last interstellar logistics upgrade, which means, let's go with fire ice. Yeah, they now all hold 20,000. It also means all our ships are maxed out at 2,000 for the big ones and 200 for the drones, which is not bad. also means we need to pick more research. I really want to get this one, but it's 24,000, and I strongly believe in going up according to cost. Please tell me it costs less. 24,000. No. Okay. Ray efficiency, which we've been ignoring for a long time. So that goes up by 2,000 each time. So that's 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Let's not do the 24 one. That should take us a while. 18? Yeah, well, I'm not going to say more to not going to say no to more drones. That's more drones. That's more drone speed. That's 24,000. That's 15,000. Research queue is full. Okay, so as I was saying, we have blueprint. Polar blueprints. We have this silo one, and as you can see on the right hand side, it makes 29 silos. 29 silos, if we round up to 30, call it 30. 30 silos, one silo launches a rocket every, 12 rockets per minute. 12 rockets, 5 rockets per minute. One rocket every 5 seconds, every 12 seconds. But there we go. Which means it launches around about, if it was 30 silos, it launches 2.5 rockets per second. Which means I really want a blueprint that can keep this system running. Which means I need to make 2.5 rockets per second. Because we need more critical photons. Because now we're trying to move critical photons not only into science, and we have the Gemini system, reminding you the guys that this whole video will be ad-free. You might have got one at the start, but the rest of the video is going to be ad-free. Plus we have our home system, which again reminds you to subscribe to JD, because if you haven't clicked that button, this is your second reminder so far for this episode. Just going through the introduction. I'm doing well. So, there are 2 Dyson Spheres producing 2 gigawatts and 2.8, we'll call it 5 gigawatts. The Tristan system is actually pulling most of the weight, doing almost 9 gigawatts by itself. But, there's a couple of catches. We're not producing enough, okay? We have done an antimatter build. Antimatter build, making antimatter fuel rods, which we are now burning off on a few planets, actually, into these lovely stars, and that potentially uses 30 critical photons per second, being a full belt's worth, which is an awful lot, which means we need to up our game. So I need to make more rockets. So with all that preamble out of the way, we're going to leave this system. It still has the dead one, number 1, which we haven't set up yet. It still is missing a Dyson Sphere, which we haven't set up yet. We're going to take a new trip out to a new system. And what I want to do is I want to find not a type B, but a type O star. So type O stars have the highest luminosity. They have a luminosity of 2 compared to our current system, which has a luminosity of, well, we'll click on that one instead, 1. So it basically means we're going to get twice the amount of power out of our Dyson Sphere, which I'm all for. All for. So what I want to do is I was looking at this lovely system, which is a little bit of a unique system, okay? Plus, we've got the Type O star, great start. Plus, we have a lava planet. Lava planets, as we know, full of resources, always full of resources. As we can see, we have lots of rare resources here. I don't know which ones we're going to find on the lava planet, but hopefully we find something good. Plus, we have a volcanic ash planet, very handy. And then we have a gas giant, or ice giant, sorry, which has fire ice plus hydrogen. We're going to need a lot of hydrogen to make deuterium fuel rods. But then has 3 planets. Yeah, that's rare. That's super rare. So we have a Hurricane Stone Forest. We love those. Those guys are full of so much foundation. Plus we have a Gobi planet. Plus we have an arid desert planet. So like I said, I have no idea what the resources stack is like, but that's going to be our new target. That's going to be our new target. We're going to put a build out here because it has some of the resources we're going to need. And then, on top of that, we're going to be, well, making a build. We're planning to do not 2.5 sites per second, because that's how much we would need to keep one of the polar systems launching. But we're going to double that. We're going to do 5. The reason we're going to do 5 is in case you want to put a blueprint on the South Pole plus a blueprint on the North Pole, you'll be set. So that's going to be the plan. Now, of course, on our way there, I need to find a lovely Patreon to name, well, that was the wrong button. Another lovely Patreon to name the planet after. well, name the star after, because we're naming the stars after patrons, which is going to be the Lancaster star. Lancaster star. So we just need to get into range of it. We're still in outer space. Oh, let's press tab. So it still says here can I rename outer space? No. Okay. We need to get close enough to the system. Where is it? Right there. Oh, we're in the Cresona? Cresona system. Which one's Cresona? That one. Nope, we're already out of range. So, whilst you pass through the galaxy, if you come in a range of a system, you can actually bring up the system stats. Okay, so we're in range of Lancaster. We're going to drop out of hyperspace. And being a type O star, it's very bright. But we can see, oh my god, so much iron, so much copper, decent amount of silicon, a lot of titanium, plenty of stone, plenty of coal, obviously unlimited amounts of fire, ice, and hydrogen. We also have a sulfuric acid, like optical grading crystal, which could be handy. Not a lot of kimberlite, and fractal silicon, which we don't need. So, I need to choose a landing planet. Volcanic ash, that'll give us a sulfuric acid. Originally, I had planned to use the Hurricane Stone Forest. But we're not using optical grading crystal, but we do need to use sulfuric acid. I don't need a lot of sulfuric acid for our build. Oh, he says that. No, I need over 30 per second. Okay, so let's go through our list. We are making small carrier rockets. Small carrier rockets require 3 items. They require quantum chips. Quantum chips, the only real rare resource in this is the cashmere crystals, which have the alternate recipe used in the optical grading crystal. I'm not a big fan of using the optical grading crystal. It just doesn't save that much production. It means I don't have to make titanium crystals, which is a little bit of a pain. But because we're bringing in, what's it called? What's that one called? Organic crystal. Because we can mine organic crystal, it's not really that much of an issue. The other thing we need is deuterium fuel rods. Deuterium fuel rods have titanium alloy, which does require sulfuric acid. That's a little bit of a pain. Just a tiny bit of a pain, not a big pain. Obviously deuterium, which we're just going to convert hydrogen to deuterium because that's the easiest way to do it. And of course the super blue magnetic ring thingamajiggy bobs, which are a pain in the ass. Last thing is the Dyson Sphere components, which is processors, which is just iron, copper, silicon, that's it. The sails, which do require photon combiners. Photon combiners, your choice is to use the stock recipe. Where's the stock recipe? The stock recipe, which requires glass, which, well, requires glass. Prisms, which require glass, which require stone. It's just less steps. Or the alternate, which requires the optical grading crystal. Honestly, if you're going to use optical grading crystal anyway, use it here, because it saves you smelting stone to then convert stone to glass, to then convert glass into prisms. Not a hard recipe, it's just a pain in the ass. Okay, it's saving you several steps. What was the other thing? So yeah, sails, and then of course the frame material, which requires carbon nanotubes, which we're probably again not going to use a rare recipe, but then a lot of titanium alloy, which requires a lot of sulfuric acid. So after going through all that, we're going to go to the volcanic ash planet. What were our other choices? Arid desert, which has the kimberlite ore. And titanium. You have... So the Gobi has a lot of the coal. And the Hurricane Stone Forest has a lot of titanium, a lot of copper. With some powerful wind. And the optical grading crystal. Okay, so with all that out of the way, we're going to go across to Lancaster 2. And then we need to start planning. Now, as I've done previously, we're going to plan this out in a hurry. And then we'll come back next episode with a proper blueprint. Because that is way easier than me trying to make blueprints on the fly. Okay, first things first. Where be the North Pole? There be the North Pole, there be the South Pole. We're going to build power at the South Pole. Because I don't need stone. Of all the things I need to bury, I could bury, stone is definitely the most buriable. Okay, so with that done, we're going to go into... Nope, wrong one. Polar blueprints. We're going to put down the power and shipping for the antimatter version. Because we're going to be using some power on this planet. Really? Oh. Okay, turns out I want solar panels, please. Also going to need some of those. I have no idea how many of these are going to ship. 100? 300? 100. Okay. Alright, obviously I need to outpost this planet. We can do that later. We're not in a particular rush to get that done. We also need to look at the division. So here is a nice giant building space. We have acid up there. We have acid here, acid here, acid here. We have... I can't see this side of the planet. We have dribs and... Oh, there's a decent size of acid, which of course took out half the coal vein. Alright, it's fine. The gods of RNG hate me. So I want to plan... okay, I want to plan to find that copper vein. Oh, really? I'm short one of those? That's frustrating. Can I also order in those, please? Again, I'm going to need 100. I don't really want 100, but I'm going to have 100. So where is that copper vein? It is potentially directly opposite me. Stone, iron, other things. Nope. Oh, it's the left. To the left a lot. What section of the planet are you in? You're in the top section. In fact, I don't care about you then. Okay, so this stone is going to mark the edge of our buildable area. Put you there. We'll grab some wind turbines. And we'll just drag out a bit of a power grid. Nothing too fancy yet. This marks out, like, I don't want to build past this line. Okay, so if we turn on the power grid, I can say, look, I want to... North, thank you. I want to build to left of there. I have all this space to build. Okay, that's all that's an indication of. Can I add shippies? I'm going to run out of shippies. That's alright, we'll order in some shippies. Can I put that in? Oop, that in there, that in there. More shippies with more shippies. More shippies with more shippies. And more shippies and more shippies. Yep, I'm going to super run out of resources. Okay, so it's going to take a while to charge up. That's perfectly fine. We're going to clear that. We're going to clear that. We're going to clear that. You do not have any antimatter coming in, which is not a good sign. It just means we don't have nearly enough critical photons to make enough antimatter, which is why we're building this project. Okay, so that's going to take forever to power up. That's fine. We just don't care. We're going to go and put down... we're going to work out roughly. I should have put the wind turbines on this side. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Alright, we're going to start building. And again, like I said, we're just going to strap this stuff together. And then we're going to come back and work out exactly how it's all going to slot together afterwards. Okay, so we want to make small carrier rockets. Now, obviously they have 3 components. I'm going to split 3 components up. I'm going to start with the antimatter. The deuterium fuel rods. The reason I'm going to start with deuterium fuel rods is... No real reason. No real reason. Probably because they're the easiest, actually. Okay, so to make deuterium fuel rods, I'm going to need a lot of assemblers. Let's turn off that and off that so we can see what we're doing. Speaking of seeing what we're doing, let's turn on the lights. Excellent! Now I can definitely see what we're doing. Okay, so we're going to want deuterium fuel rods. I want to make 16 per second to make 5 rockets per second. And you guys need 2 inputs plus an output. Okay. Do I have enough room? Okay, I probably have enough room. No, I don't have enough room. Remove that. Let's move you up a tile. Okay, so that's 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Because I need 52 of these guys. You need an output belt, which will be that belt. You need an input belt of deuterium. I need to go to this tower and request in belt. About that much. About that much. Okay, so we're going to mark our belts as we go. You're going to be deuterium. You are going to be... What was that? The output. Oh, that's one other thing. Nope, all the wrong buttons at once. Can we just put a tower right here? We now have output stacking level 3. To get this build up and running, we are planning, because we can now research it, to get the last stacking size. So I am planning these builds around using Mark 3 belt with level 4 stacking. Out of towers. Out of towers. I should add that part. If we need to stack things with pilers, we'll stack things with pilers. But that should mean that I can move 120 items per second out of a tower. Which means, like our deuterium, it's going to be delivered by a tower because we need a crap ton of it. Okay, so then we have 2 belts here and here. You're going to be titanium alloy, which is that one. Plus going to be the stupid magnetic ring thingamajiggy bobs. Then we need another row of assemblers. About to there. Yeah, okay. Next up we need... It's probably easiest to do this one first. No, they are smelted. Do I not have... Oh. That would explain a few things. Smelters. I need 16 of them. We'll build them in a straight line. I don't know what they're going to look like in the end. But you guys are going to be the titanium alloy. Okay, from titanium alloy... actually, no, smelters are going to come from the far left or right. Okay, forget the smelters. Okay, super magnetic rings. Super magnetic rings are... 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You guys are going to do that recipe. Your output is going to come up to here, up to here, up to there. And of course be production sprayed, because we are spraying everything. There are very, very few things I don't want to spray at this point. Okay, so then you need magnets. No. Yeah, we'll work out magnets later. We want you to have not coal, but energetic graphite, which of course is going to get sprayed. It is that item. Okay, so from there you need green motors. Green motors, we need... Again, 11 machines. So that is that one. You guys are going to need normal engines, which it's a 2-to-1 ratio. Except because we're proliferating, it actually ends up being 18. So 15, 16, 17, 18, or we build 2 lots of 8, 2 lots of 9. Let's build 2 lots of 9. So 3, 6, 9. Okay, and then we're going to have to work out your inputs and outputs in a second. Okay, I might not have left enough tiles. Copy those guys. Put them there instead. Remove those guys. Okay, you guys are going to need to output into there. We'll assume your output goes around the back. We know you guys need gears, because we've done this before. Gears is 7 machines, which is... we'll make 8, one for good luck. Gears. Okay. Which then needs iron. Which, because our belts stack so high, and we can put an insane amount of material on our belts, we should be able to run the iron belt into here. I need to juice things. We'll assume we're going to run the gear belts this way. It seems a little bit unorthodox, but bear with me. Okay, so you are going to be spray. You're going to be iron. That's not iron. And you're going to be gears. And you're going to have to bounce over the top and into there. We still haven't done magnetic rings. I don't know whether they face the right way or not, but for consistency's sake. Okay, so yes. Okay, let's actually copy. Please copy. Oh. First and last one I'm copying because it's bound to my mouse, but the Razer software, being as stable and as awesome as the Razer software is not working once again. Okay, so then the last thing I need to do is the magnetic rings, which again needs 8 machines. You guys are going to do magnets, which will, well, magnetic coils, which will require copper, probably in the opposite order, actually. So you're going to be magnets, you're going to be copper, your output needs to be sprayed. So let's bring it up here. Let's spray it. And how much are you actually outputting per minute? That's something I should check, because we might be over the max amount for a belt. That might be the point where I need to pile things. You're doing, so these 8 machines, after they've been proliferated, are doing 29.5 per second, which is perfect, because our belts move 30. I need to bring you, well, to here. And then down around these engines. And again, this is all planning, okay? Eventually we'll have a nice pretty blueprint that'll look awesome. And then you come up and run past those guys. We now have their 2 ingredients, one being the magnetic coils we just made, which is this belt. Magnetic coils. I'm gonna need to copy that. Copy. Paste you here. Plus paste you here. Plus paste. Wrong button. I hate the fact that it's less than and greater than. It's just such an awkward button that you just don't normally use in normal keyboard use. Okay, that'll give you these guys. So then you need to come to there to run the super magnets. Plus, you guys need magnetic coils. Now, magnetic coils, magnets rather, magnets are more than a belt's worth. A lot more than a belt's worth. They're like 1.3 belts worth. So we're going to have to plan that in advance to smelt it and then pile it. And that way they're stacked on the belt so the belt can move 60 per second, not 30. Because we're making 45. Okay, so then you guys are going to output. You'll go into there. Smelting is a whole separate issue. Smelting we'll do, you know, separately. But that's the plan for 1 out of 3 items. Now, obviously, after seeing this, I'm like, well, that can squeeze up and that can squeeze up. Maybe we could put all this stuff in front, behind. Maybe this can go in front. This can go there. And these 2 can go directly below. I don't know. There's definitely some squiggling that has to be done to get this blueprint to work. Plus you're going to need that output and that input. Which is going to be, here I am copying and pasting more things. Okay, so yes, I'm still going to make all the smelters to feed these things, but that's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to build one blueprint at a time. Probably, actually... I think we can get through quantum chips in a single episode. Possibly even knock out some of the Dyson Sphere components in a single episode. But that's going to be a plan for next episode. We'll have this blueprint finalized. And what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to put down a blueprint that just makes this. Just this. And then obviously feed it into a tower. Even if I feed it straight back out of the tower. Because the plan is that if it feeds into a tower and then straight out of a tower, it means if it backs up, if it produces extra, which a lot of these builds, because I add 1 or 2 extra machines, I round up, they will produce extra. Because they produce extra, if we have extra deuterium fuel rods in the network, it means those poor planets that we're requesting deuterium fuel rods on that aren't getting enough deuterium fuel rods might actually get some deuterium fuel rods. But with all that said, this is what I'm going to call this particular episode. We now know what our grand project is. It is making some small Gary rockets. We're going to be making 5 per second, which is going to take some effort. It's going to take some squiggling. It's going to take some work. But that's going to be our grand plan. Obviously, I need to, well, plan out the rest and do some smelting. And actually, maybe we just plan the whole lot. Maybe we just plan the whole lot. Yeah, I think we're going to plan the whole lot. We'll plan the whole lot. 1, 2, 3. We'll plan the whole lot on this planet. And then I think after it's all been planned, and drafted is probably a better idea. After it's been drafted, I think I'll then show you guys the final blueprints. Yeah, we'll keep the suspense high. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. Thank you to those that have become YouTube members. Thank you to those that support the channel through Patreon as well. Thank you to everybody who is supporting our ad-free 2022 project. But with all that said, that's what I'm going to call it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the very next episode. Bye.